Millions of people imagine ancient Egypt as a land of gold and magnificent monuments. But behind that image existed a far harsher and more unsettling reality. While the pharaohs displayed unmatched wealth, most of the population endured exhausting labor to sustain the empire. The records carved into temple walls celebrated victories and prosperity, but they rarely showed suffering or failure. Much of what we know today emerged from the very things rulers tried to conceal. Among deserts and necropolises, archaeologists uncovered signs of social conflicts very different from the traditional image of absolute order. One of the most surprising secrets is that Egypt recorded some of the earliest labor strikes in human history. The builders of royal tombs knew exactly how valuable their work was and protested when payments were delayed. Ancient documents describe food shortages affecting the very people responsible for the kingdom's greatest monuments. Behind the pyramids and temples stood a complex administrative machine dedicated to controlling resources and people. Tax collection reached nearly every aspect of daily life. Those who resisted state demands could face severe punishments and the loss of essential privileges. Even religion played a direct role in maintaining the political authority of the pharaohs. The belief that the pharaoh possessed a divine connection helped legitimize decisions that affected millions of people. Yet not everyone silently accepted this seemingly unquestionable structure of power. Throughout the centuries, periods of crisis emerged that deeply shook confidence in central authority. When the Nile's floods failed, the entire economic system began to unravel. Famine could spread rapidly across regions completely dependent on the river's cycle. Some ancient texts describe moments when social order seemed dangerously close to collapse. Surprisingly, tomb robbers were not always unknown outsiders arriving from the desert. Ancient investigations reveal that officials connected to the system itself sometimes took part in the thefts. The enormous wealth stored inside tombs created temptations that proved difficult to resist. As a result, pharaohs invested vast resources into increasingly sophisticated protection systems. Many famous traps are modern exaggerations, but the concealment systems themselves were very real. The more we investigate these structures, the more we realize they were designed to deceive human intruders, not supernatural forces. And by uncovering who was truly robbing the pharaohs' tombs, we begin to expose an even darker side of Egyptian power that will be explored next. Judicial records preserved by scribes reveal that the looting of royal tombs was far more organized than historians once believed. In many cases, the thieves knew exactly where the treasures were hidden and understood the weak points of the tombs. This has led modern researchers to suspect that confidential information circulated within the royal administration itself. The more wealth that was buried, the larger the underground network became that sought to reach it. But Egypt's secrets were not hidden only beneath the sand. They were also concealed inside the palaces themselves. Political conspiracies regularly emerged among those competing for influence around the pharaoh. The struggle for power often took place far from battlefields and dangerously close to the royal chambers. One of the most intriguing episodes involves a conspiracy that may have led to the assassination of a pharaoh. For centuries, this mystery remained buried within fragmented documents and incomplete evidence. New analyses have allowed historians to reconstruct a plot involving influential members of the royal court. Power in Egypt was presented as eternal, yet in reality, it depended on extremely fragile alliances. Even the most powerful pharaohs had to balance religious, military, and economic interests. When that balance failed, the consequences could spread across the entire kingdom. Another little-known secret involves the true function of many temples scattered across the Nile Valley. Beyond their spiritual role, these institutions operated as enormous economic centers. They controlled land, resources, workshops, and thousands of workers. During certain periods, their influence rivaled that of the pharaoh himself. This silent rivalry shaped decisions that affected entire generations of Egyptians. Meanwhile, ordinary people faced challenges very different from those depicted on monuments. Disease, workplace injuries, and periods of scarcity were part of everyday reality. Even so, these communities developed remarkable strategies for survival. Modern excavations have revealed a society far more organized and specialized than previously imagined. Each worker performed a specific role within a highly complex system. This level of coordination enabled Egypt to sustain monumental projects for centuries. Yet behind this extraordinary capacity for organization lay an even more disturbing secret about the Egyptian relationship with death, a mystery that will be revealed next. For the ancient Egyptians, death did not represent a final end, but the beginning of a journey filled with invisible dangers and challenges. This belief influenced nearly every stage of preparing a burial, from architecture to the objects placed inside the tomb. Preserving the body was considered essential to maintaining identity in the afterlife. Yet complete mummification remained a privilege beyond the reach of much of the population. Economic inequality continued to exist even after death. While some received chambers filled with treasures, others were buried with only the essentials. Even so, everyone shared the same fear of being forgotten by future generations. That is why preserving memory was almost as important as preserving the body itself. Many symbols found inside tombs served practical purposes within this worldview, rather than being mere decoration. Contrary to popular belief, Egyptians viewed the afterlife as a complex continuation of everyday existence. This explains why so many ordinary scenes appear within funerary settings. However, some archaeological discoveries uncovered something far more disturbing hidden among these burial grounds. During certain periods, economic and political crises even disrupted rituals associated with the dead. Some tombs were reused, altered, or adapted to survive times of scarcity. These discoveries reveal an Egypt far more vulnerable and human than traditional images often suggest. Even the most monumental structures depended on delicate systems of organization and supply. When those systems failed, problems that seemed invisible began spreading throughout the kingdom. History preserved the monuments, but it was the smallest traces of daily life that revealed the greatest secrets. Every fragment uncovered by archaeologists helped dismantle centuries of simplified interpretations. Today, we know that Egypt was far more complex, contradictory, and dynamic than popular myths suggest. The pharaohs possessed enormous power, yet they never fully controlled all the forces shaping their world. Behind the appearance of stability existed constant disputes, crises, negotiations, and adaptations. Perhaps the most fascinating secret is that this extraordinary civilization was built by people facing challenges remarkably similar to our own. It is this humanity hidden beneath gigantic monuments that continues to surprise researchers even today. And with every new discovery emerging from beneath the desert sands, we are reminded that the greatest secrets of ancient Egypt may still be waiting to be uncovered.